Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, when Allah wakes you up for Fajr, it is never by accident. It is an invitation to place your worries in His hands before the world places its weight on your chest. If money has become a source of anxiety in your life, if you feel stuck, pressured, or overwhelmed, then listen carefully. There is a dua the Prophet ﷺ taught, short, sincere, and powerful, that when recited after Fajr, opens doors of halal provision in ways you never expected. My dear brothers and sisters, never allow your heart to believe that worrying about money means your faith is weak. This thought itself is a whisper meant to distance you from Allah. The fear of not being able to provide, the stress of unpaid bills, the pressure of debts, and the responsibility of caring for family are part of being human. Allah created you with emotions, needs, and responsibilities, and He never shames a servant for feeling the weight of them. In fact, Allah knows this struggle better than anyone else, because He is the one who placed you in this situation with wisdom, not neglect. Allah knows the moments you lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying numbers in your mind and wondering how you will manage tomorrow. He knows the tightness in your chest when you check your balance. He knows the silent tears you wipe away so your children or loved ones do not see your fear. Even the thoughts you never speak, the worries you feel embarrassed to admit, Allah knows them all. Nothing about your struggle is hidden from Him, not even for a second. When you raise your hands to Allah and speak about your financial hardship, you are not complaining. Complaining is turning away from Allah and accusing Him. What you are doing is turning toward Allah and saying, Ya Allah, I trust you more than I trust my situation. This is not weakness. This is worship. This is humility. This is Iman in its most honest form. Allah loves when His servants come to Him broken, sincere, and real, without pretending they are strong when they are not. Understand this clearly. Allah never ignores a heart that relies on Him. When you turn to Allah with your financial worry, you are placing your burden in the safest hands possible. Even if relief does not come immediately, Allah is already responding in ways you cannot yet see. He may be protecting you from harm, preparing an opening, or strengthening your heart so you do not collapse under pressure. Every sincere turn toward Allah is answered, either by changing your situation or by giving you the strength to carry it with peace. So do not feel ashamed of your worry. Do not feel distant from Allah because of it. Let your need push you closer to Him, not away, because the one who sees your struggle is the same, one who controls your provision, and when Allah is aware of your pain, relief is never impossible. My dear brothers and sisters, Fajr is not just another prayer you try to fit into a busy schedule. Fajr is a gift. It is a private invitation from Allah at a time when the world is quiet and distractions are at their weakest. When you wake up for Fajr, you are choosing Allah before your sleep, before your worries, and before your plans. That choice itself carries immense barakah, even if you do not feel it immediately. The early morning hours are special in Islam because Allah places blessing in them. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that barakah descends in the morning, meaning Allah expands what seems small and strengthens what feels weak. A little effort becomes powerful. A small action brings lasting impact. When you pray Fajr and then sit afterward to remember Allah, you are positioning yourself in a moment where divine help is closest to the heart. Many people rush after Fajr. They stand up, check their phones, return to sleep, or immediately worry about the day ahead. But when you remain seated after Fajr, even for a few minutes, you are telling Allah, Ya Allah, you come first today. That moment of stillness is where the heart reconnects, where anxiety softens, and where hope quietly begins to grow again. This is why dua after Fajr is so powerful. It is made at a time when the soul is calm and the heart is most sincere. When you ask Allah for provision after Fajr, you are not just asking for money, you are asking Allah to bless your entire day. You are asking Him to guide your steps, protect your choices, and place ease in situations you have not yet reached. Even if your circumstances do not change immediately, your inner state begins to shift. Fear slowly turns into trust, panic turns into patience, and that inner stability is often the first sign that Allah's help is already on its way. Fajr reminds us of an important truth. Allah does not require loud voices or long speeches to respond. He responds to sincerity, timing, and humility. When you sit after Fajr and speak to Allah quietly about your needs, you are closer to Him than you realize. Never underestimate what Allah can change through a few minutes of sincere dua at the beginning of your day. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a reason Islam teaches us specific du'as for specific struggles. Allah in His mercy did not leave us to guess how to ask Him. When the weight of financial stress presses on your chest, when you fear falling into haram, when you feel dependent on people in ways that humiliate your heart, Islam gives you words that heal before they even bring wealth. One of the most powerful of these is the dua you recite after Fajr. Allahumma akfini bihalalika an haramik, wa aghnini bifadlika amman siwak. This dua is short, but it is deep. It does not only ask Allah to give you money, it asks Allah to protect your faith, your character, and your self-respect while He provides for you. And that is something many people forget to ask for. Not all money brings peace. Not all opportunities are safe. Not all solutions are blessings. Some forms of provision come with guilt, fear, and spiritual damage. This dua shields you from that. When you say, Allahumma kfini bihalalika an haramika, you are asking Allah to make halal so sufficient that haram never even tempts you. You are admitting something very honest, that financial pressure can push people into places they never thought they would go. Allah already knows this. That is why you ask Him for protection before asking Him for wealth. You are saying, Ya Allah, I want relief, but not at the cost of my soul. I want provision, but not if it pulls me away from you. Then you say, Wa ahnini bifadlika aman siwak. This part of the dua is incredibly powerful. You are asking Allah to enrich you through His fadl, His generosity, His unseen support, so that you never feel forced to depend on people in humiliating ways. You are asking Allah to remove the need to beg, to explain yourself, to feel small in front of creation. This is a dua for inner independence, not just financial independence. Many people think richness means having a lot of money, but Allah teaches us that true richness is when the heart is not constantly leaning on people. When Allah enriches you through His fadl, He may give you money, or He may give you contentment, or He may give you stability that removes desperation from your decisions. Sometimes Allah answers this dua by opening a door you never applied for. Sometimes He answers it by closing a door that would have harmed you. And sometimes He answers it by strengthening your heart so you stop feeling broken by temporary hardship. This dua also corrects a dangerous mindset. When people are under financial stress, they often start believing that people are the solution. That if this person helps, or that opportunity comes, or someone shows mercy, everything will be fine. Islam redirects your heart gently but firmly back to Allah. This dua reminds you that people are tools, not providers. Allah is the provider. People only give what Allah allows them to give. Reciting this dua after Fajr is especially powerful because it sets the direction of your entire day. You are beginning your morning by saying, Ya Allah, I trust You with my provision today. I trust You with my choices. I trust You to keep me clean, dignified, and protected. When you start your day like this, even challenges feel different. You may still struggle, but you struggle with hope instead of panic. And let me say something important here. Do not recite this dua mechanically. Do not rush it as if you are checking off a task. Sit calmly. Let each word land in your heart. Feel your need. Feel your dependence on Allah. It is okay if your voice shakes. It is okay if your eyes fill with tears. Allah does not need polished words. He responds to honest hearts. Many people abandon dua because they think it is not working. My dear brothers and sisters, dua is not a vending machine. Dua is a relationship. Sometimes Allah answers immediately. Sometimes He delays. Sometimes He redirects. But He never ignores. Every sincere dua is either answered, stored for you, or used to remove harm from your life. And often, the biggest answer is that Allah keeps your iman intact while He prepares your relief. So hold on to this dua. Recite it after Fajr 7 times with certainty. Let it protect you from haram. Let it free your heart from depending on people. Let it remind you that your worth is not measured by your bank balance, but by your connection to Allah. Because when Allah enriches you through His fadl, even little becomes enough, and even difficulty becomes bearable until relief arrives exactly when it is meant to. If you want, next I can write 0.4 inches the same long, deep style about why repeating it 7 times transforms the heart, or continue exactly in your preferred tone. My dear brothers and sisters, many people ask why this dua is recited 7 times, and they assume it is only about the number. But in Islam, repetition is not empty ritual. Repetition is training for the heart. Allah knows that a worried heart does not settle after one sentence. A fearful heart needs to be reminded again and again. That is why repeating this dua 7 times is not meant to inform Allah of your need, but to reshape your reliance. When you recite the dua the first time, you are often still carrying your fear. Your mind is busy with numbers, deadlines, and worst-case scenarios. The words come out, but the heart is still tense. The second time, something softens. You are reminding yourself that you are not alone. By the third time, the heart begins to slow down. The fourth time, you start to feel that your burden is being shared. By the 7th time, something important happens. Your heart begins to believe what your tongue has been saying. This is how Allah heals anxiety, gradually, gently, without force. Allah does not demand instant trust from a heart that has been struggling for months or years. He allows you to arrive at trust step by step. Each repetition of the dua peels away one layer of fear, one layer of desperation, one layer of self-blame. That is why 7 repetitions are powerful. They are not rushed, they are deliberate. They allow the heart to catch up with the words. There is also wisdom in consistency. When you repeat this dua every morning after Fajr 7 times, you are teaching your heart a new habit. Instead of starting the day with panic, you start with surrender. Instead of waking up and immediately worrying about money, you wake up and place your concern in Allah's care. Over time, this changes how you react to hardship. Problems do not disappear overnight, but your heart stops collapsing under them. Many people think peace comes after problems are solved. Islam teaches us something deeper. Peace often comes before solutions appear. When Allah calms your heart, you become able to make better decisions. You stop rushing into desperate choices. You stop compromising your values. You stop thinking short term. This is one of the hidden ways Allah answers this dua. He protects you from harming yourself while you are waiting for relief. Repeating the dua 7 times also teaches patience. In a world that demands instant results, repetition trains you to trust Allah's timing. Each time you say the dua, you are acknowledging that Allah is in control, not you. This removes the illusion that stress itself creates solutions. Worry does not fix problems, trust does. And trust is built through repetition, not through one emotional moment. There is also a spiritual dimension here. Every time you repeat the dua, angels record your sincerity. Angels are present in the early morning. Your words are not falling into emptiness, they are rising. Your reliance is being witnessed. Your humility is being honored. Even when nothing changes outwardly, something is being written in your favor. And let me remind you of something important. Repetition does not mean doubt. Some people worry that repeating a dua means they do not trust Allah enough. That is not true. The Prophet ﷺ himself would repeat du'as. Repetition is not disbelief, it is persistence. It is saying, Ya Allah, I am still here, I still trust you, I still need you. Allah loves a servant who does not give up on asking. Over time, this practice creates a deep inner shift. You begin to feel less afraid of the future. You begin to feel less dependent on people's approval or help. You begin to feel that whatever comes, Allah will carry you through it. This is not false optimism. This is grounded faith built slowly, repetition by repetition. So do not underestimate these 7 repetitions. Do not rush them. Do not treat them like a task. Sit with them. Let them calm you. Let them train your heart. Because before Allah changes your financial situation, He often changes how you carry it. And when the heart is strong, relief finds its way more easily. When you are ready, I can continue with 0.5 inches, the same long, gentle, emotionally grounded style, exactly as you want. My dear brothers and sisters, many people ask why this dua is repeated 7 times, and they assume it is only about the number. But in Islam, repetition is never meaningless. Repetition is not for Allah's benefit, it is for your heart. Allah already knows your struggle before you speak. What repetition does is slowly heal a heart that has been tense, fearful, and overwhelmed for far too long. When you recite this dua the first time, your heart is usually still heavy. Your mind is crowded with thoughts of bills, debts, expectations, and uncertainty. The words come out, but the worry is still sitting tightly inside you. The second time, something begins to soften. The third time, the heart pauses. By the fourth time, you start to feel that you are no longer carrying this burden alone. And by the 7th time, the heart begins to accept what the tongue has been saying all along, that Allah is in control, not the situation. Allah knows that a worried heart cannot instantly switch into trust. That is why repetition is mercy. Each repetition peels away a layer of fear, one layer of panic, one layer of self-blame, one layer of pressure you have been carrying silently. 7 repetitions give the heart time to breathe again. They allow trust to grow naturally instead of being forced. There's also deep wisdom in how repetition trains your nervous system. Anxiety lives in the body as much as it lives in the mind. When you repeat this dua calmly after Fajr, your breathing slows, your thoughts settle, and your body begins to relax. This is not accidental. Allah created you with a soul and a body, and He knows that healing must reach both. Through repetition, Allah is calming you even before He changes your circumstances. Repeating this dua daily also rewires how you start your mornings. Many people wake up and immediately worry. They open their eyes and their heart is already racing ahead into fear. But when you commit to repeating this dua 7 times after Fajr, you are teaching your heart a new pattern. Turn to Allah first. Over time, this becomes automatic. Even when a new problem appears, your first instinct becomes dua instead of panic. This repetition also protects you from desperation. Financial stress often pushes people into rushed decisions, bad deals, haram income, broken values, or humiliating dependence on others. When your heart is calm, you think clearly. When your heart trusts Allah, you do not feel forced to compromise your faith. One of the greatest answers to this dua is that Allah keeps you dignified while you wait. Some people fear that repeating a dua means they lack trust. This is not true. Repetition is not doubt, it is persistence. The Prophet ﷺ himself repeated du'as. Repetition means you are refusing to disconnect from Allah. It means you are saying, Ya Allah, I am still here, still trusting you, still relying on you. Allah loves this consistency more than one emotional moment followed by silence. And remember this, even when you do not see immediate change, something is happening. Angels are recording your words. Your reliance is being written. Harm may be quietly removed. A future difficulty may be diverted. A door may be prepared that will only open when the timing is right. Allah's work often begins invisibly. So do not rush these 7 repetitions. Do not treat them like a task to finish. Sit with them, feel them, let them steady you, because sometimes Allah's greatest mercy is not instant wealth, but a heart strong enough to wait without breaking. When you are ready, say now 5, and I will continue in the same long, gentle, deeply grounded style. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest misunderstandings about dua is that it is only meant for moments of crisis. We turn to Allah when the pressure becomes unbearable, when the fear becomes loud, when we feel cornered. And while Allah is always near in those moments, He teaches us something deeper and more beautiful. Consistency is what transforms dua from a momentary cry into a lifelong source of strength and barakah. When you recite this dua after Fajr only once or twice, especially during desperation, it may bring comfort, but when you recite it consistently, day after day, it begins to reshape your relationship with Allah and with your own fear. Consistency tells Allah, Ya Allah, I trust you not just when I am desperate, but even when I am waiting. And Allah loves a servant who remains connected, even when relief has not yet arrived. Consistency also protects your heart from disappointment. Many people stop making dua because they expect immediate results. When those results do not appear, they feel discouraged and quietly withdraw. But Allah never promised instant answers, He promised perfect timing. When you remain consistent, you stop measuring Allah's response by speed and start measuring it by wisdom. You learn to trust that Allah is working even when you cannot see it. When you make this dua part of your daily routine after Fajr, something powerful happens inside you. Your fear no longer controls your mornings. Your worries no longer define your mood for the day. Instead of waking up with anxiety, you wake up with surrender. And surrender does not mean giving up, it means placing your effort where it belongs, while trusting Allah with the outcome. Consistency also builds inner stability. Financial stress often comes in waves. One day feels manageable, the next feels overwhelming. When your dua is consistent, your emotional state becomes steadier. You stop rising and falling with every small change. You begin to carry hardship with patience instead of panic. This emotional strength is one of the hidden forms of rizq that Allah gives before He gives material relief. And let me say something very important here. Consistency in dua does not mean you are doing nothing else. Islam does not teach us to sit back and wait passively. You make dua and you take halal steps. You work, you plan, you try. But you no longer believe that effort alone guarantees results. You understand that effort without Allah's blessing remains fragile. Dua invites barakah into your effort, so that even small actions begin to carry weight. Over time, consistent dua softens the heart in a beautiful way. You become less attached to timelines, less desperate for control, less shaken by delays. You start to recognize Allah's care in small moments, an unexpected ease, a timely conversation, a sudden idea, a door opening quietly without noise. These are not coincidences. These are signs that Allah is responding in layers. Consistency also strengthens your iman. Each morning you sit after Fajr and repeat this dua, you are renewing your trust. You are reminding yourself that Allah is Ar-Razzaq, not your employer, not your bank balance, not your circumstances. This daily reminder protects you from despair, from envy, and from feeling abandoned. It anchors your heart in certainty, even when the world feels unstable. My dear brothers and sisters, never underestimate what Allah can do through a small, sincere action repeated faithfully. Mountains are not worn down by one heavy blow, but by gentle persistence. In the same way, hearts are healed and doors are opened through consistent reliance on Allah. So make this dua your companion, not just in urgency but in routine, not just in fear but in trust. Sit after Fajr, recite it calmly, believe deeply, and leave the outcome to Allah, knowing that He never delays without wisdom and never withholds without mercy. Because when dua becomes consistent, barakah follows quietly, and when barakah enters your life, even what seems little becomes enough, and even hardship becomes bearable until Allah brings relief in the most perfect way. My dear brothers and sisters, if there is one truth I want you to carry with you after listening to this reminder, it is this: you are not forgotten. Your struggle is not invisible. Your tears are not wasted. Allah is fully aware of what you are going through, even when no one else understands the weight you are carrying. Financial difficulty does not mean Allah is displeased with you. Often, it means Allah is drawing you closer, teaching your heart to rely on Him before He changes your circumstances. When you pray Fajr and sit quietly to make this dua, you are choosing trust over panic, faith over fear, and hope over despair. You are placing your need in the hands of the One who controls all provision. And when Allah is the one you rely on, no situation is too heavy, no door is truly closed, and no delay is without wisdom. Do not rush Allah. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Continue to ask Him with humility, repeat your dua with certainty, and take halal steps with patience. Relief does not always come loudly. Sometimes it comes gently, slowly, in ways that protect your heart before they change your life. But when Allah opens a door, it opens in a way that no one can shut. So hold on to this practice. Sit after Fajr. Recite the dua 7 times. Trust Allah with your provision, your future, and your worries. And remember this always: the one who sustained you yesterday is the same one who will take care of you tomorrow. May Allah grant you halal rizq, remove anxiety from your heart, protect your iman, and bless you with peace that no amount of money alone could ever buy. Amen.